Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Okay. So, stripped of their equipment, down to the... Do you guys all wear loincloths?
It's a lot hotter in here now. You know, you just gotta go commando.
Yeah, I tell you,
Actually, have drawn Starboard in his loincloth.
this is a running gag, but like I don't wear anything really under my armor clothes.
That is true. We've seen right naked.
So I don't have any armor. I just have like my clothing on. So unless they make me strip out of my clothing, then I'm good.
No, they wouldn't. Same with Karen. She doesn't wear armor. She doesn't have to get naked. But they do search your bodies to make sure that you don't have any spell components or arcane focuses or anything like that. So they take all that stuff. They take any bits of jewelry or whatever that you might have on you. They take it all. Everything. And all of it goes into, it's literally one of the soldiers comes over, takes off his helmet.
Oh,
Put
okay.
everything inside of
his
helmet. So it all just gets thrown inside right there. And that does include a very prized possession of yours, Luca.
Yeah.
Odette's ring.
Yeah, I'm throwing.
I have Odette's ring.
Well, no. Yeah, Stalbor has all that.
He has the book. I have the ring.
My apologies.
I have the book.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
No, but like every single thing that's being taken off Starboard is like, no, don't touch that. No, that needs to go in a box. That needs like, do not drop that. Like when they take the flask things, like don't drop that. It's like everything has a warning with it.
How do they seem to
Kieran
react?
will reiterate that if you open the book, you're probably dead. Just letting you know. If you do it, it's your fault.
I'm getting to that one right now, Will. So,
Okay.
everybody that comes out here, when the doors open up and the 15 soldiers come out with their spears in hand to greet you, the soldiers that come out, they are all very respectful. So again, a guy takes off his helmet, expects you to throw your jewelry and whatnot in there. Somebody else comes over and starts grabbing stuff or whatever. They are all genuinely respectful in the way that they do it. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Could you please just move that over here? Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to search you over this way. Please excuse me over here. You know, things like that. Like, they're genuinely very respectful. The way that you would expect House to Neath to be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And and so they're going about the whole thing, and then they actually grab all of you and they have you put your hands behind your backs, and they use manacles. Now, everybody has manacles, every prison has manacles, whatever. House Neath, which runs a lot of the prisons, they have manacles a slightly different way than other houses do. It's actually a design that they have that they don't share with anybody else. They don't just like lock your wrists together. They actually have your hands go up to up across like this, and they lock your fingers to your forearms. So it's one of those, like, your hands are locked behind your back like that. So
you can't cast spells.
You wouldn't be able
That's
to cast...
unfortunate.
You wouldn't be able to cast spells. You would be very, very hard-pressed to get yourself, your arms back in front of you. It's a... at first, you're kind of like, oh, this is nifty. Then you're like, this is really uncomfortable on my shoulders after, like, a minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they transport you guys down to the stockades, they bring you into... The whole place actually seems to be... To stockades. The whole place actually seems to be in pretty decent repair from the inside. Now you guys aren't on the outside anymore. You're actually on the inside. Everybody can make a perception check to see what it is that Reich could not see before.
Reich sucks.
Got him.
He does, because that was the last one to roll.
Yeah. Luca's just too thrown off by the fact that he's being treated like this.
So, so Reich, you notice it more than anybody else by far. This place, it's in pretty good condition now, but clearly there have been a fuck ton of repair jobs done to this place. Like, that wall over there looks like it was completely blasted in at one point and then recreated. You look at all like the wood structures that lead up to the walls and being on guard up there. All different types of wood going up there, all different grains going all over the place. Like, you can see that tower, maybe that entire tower collapsed before, because it is an entirely different type of stone they used to rebuild it. I mean, there's been so many injuries to this building, to this keep, this fortress, that have been repaired over time. From the outside, it was harder to notice, but from the inside, it's way easier to glance around and see these things. I mean, Kieran and Stalbor can see it as well. Stalbor has a keener eye for these sorts of things, but it's Luca, however, like Will just said, is distracted with what's happening right now. Now, as they're kind of going about this, blah 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 blah. When they realize, do you ever take your glove off? Or do you just like Michael Jackson it the whole time, so they can see your?
Yeah, my glove would be off.
Okay. So when you when they notice that you have a mark, people are treating you very differently. So you are still manacled, just like the others. However, you only have basic loose chain manacles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you're way more comfortably set right there. You don't have people standing as close to you as they're leading you along. There's no like spears like being threateningly pointed your way. Somebody just leads you with a hand on your shoulder.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those like you are very obviously a member of the house, and so you're being treated with respect and whatnot along the way. However, no apologies are made beyond like the what they've received right there for what they're doing. These are orders; they're following them. So as you guys are walking along, and then one last little detail. When they notice that mark on you and they've seen all the charms and everything, somebody will reach into the helmet and pull out your necklace and give it back to you. Your shield bearer's necklace. So you are still allowed to wear that. All right. So anyways, you guys are led through this keep and led down into the stockade. Funny enough, you don't actually even have to go into the keep itself to get to the stockade. Off to the side of the entrance to the keep itself, there is a hatch that's opened up, and you guys have to climb down a ladder. That's right.
How do we do that with manic?
Oh, yep, that's right. So the way that you climb down the ladder is literally what they do is somebody else goes down ahead of you, and they have a stick, and on the end of the stick, there's like it's literally designed like this. So what they do is they sit at the bottom of the stairs and they hold it up underneath your arms and against your shoulders to apply pressure to your upper body, so you can walk down the ladder without falling. That's a safeguard that they have. And they help you down the ladder that way. It is super uncomfortable. Everybody please roll for me an acrobatics check.
Stalbor is visibly upset.
Just don't roll garbage.
He's fine about it, but he's upset. That's not a surprise at all. If anyone was going to do this, it'd be Kieran.
Okay. Kind of funny, actually, because I don't believe in natural ones don't mean anything outside of saving throws and attack rolls in most of my games, right? So despite the fact that that's a natural one, you beat the DC of 5, you're actually good to go. You're actually good to go. Okay. Luca, however...
I mean, I had more free hands than them, just saying. I should have advantage.
Advantage is still behind your back. So your foot slips and you kind of and make your way down very clumsily, slumping hard to the ground below. The person down below, noticing that it's you, immediately drops the stick and runs over. He's like, I'm so sorry, and helps you up. He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? You know, and starts like looking over to make sure that you're okay and checking to make sure like scrapes or whatever that are on you.
Watch out,
I'll let
Luca,
out
that
like
last
a big
one's a doozy.
sigh. I'll let out a big sigh and just be like, I'm fine.
Eventually, they lead you guys to the stockade. Once you're inside the stockade, they lock you in the rooms. They shut the gates and they lock you in there. Luca, they take your manacles off. They leave those horrifying things on the others for now. About an hour afterwards, in which case I imagine Kieran is cussing up a storm and Stalwar's.
Oh, jeez.
And Riker.
Kieran's trying to figure out like if she can like dislocate her shoulder to like at least get her arms in front of her.
Would you like to roll me a strength or dex save?
That's a sleight of hand,
Actually-
surely.
Actually,
breaking in and out of
I
things.
will try to do this and probably hurt myself.
You are not able to dislocate your shoulder to get it off. However, you are able to but you don't hurt yourself doing it. It's kind of like I almost nope. So you try.
I try.
And again, about an hour later, finally they come in and they take the manacles off the three of you guys as well. Do you guys say anything to the person that comes in to check that stuff?
Nah.
Yeah. How long are we gonna be down here? When can we talk to whoever the fuck's in charge here?
He said that he will come and speak with you in 2 days.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yes. Anything else?
Nope.
Meals are at sunrise and sunset.
Cool.
And they leave.
I'm actually gonna ask if I could get like a third meal.
And the
Trying
person
your
looks
luck?
at you because this person doesn't know. You have not seen this person before. They look at you like you've got 3 heads.
If they look at me like I have 3 heads, I'll kind of do one of those like, I'm just gonna itch my eye, show off my dragon mark a little bit.
I'll see what I can do.
I'll nod.
And he leaves. That night, you guys actually do receive your meals. 3 of you guys receive a nice bowl of slop. It's not very flavorful. Probably not the worst thing any of you have eaten, but not very flavorful. But it's a meal, and it's not like it's gross stuff either. It's just a bowl
Substance.
of slop.
Okay.
And Luca receives a nice venison slab of meat with some vegetables that are cooked off the side. The vegetables may be a little over-ripened, but decent cook here.
How like so they don't have their hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have our hands.
Now we
We're
do.
free
Oh,
now.
okay.
Stalbot would have
So-
taken off his gloves, and his arms would be all like fucking red and bruised and gross from being behind him so long. Because he doesn't heal. He's gross.
Bruce is like a peach.
Yeah. So he's
Um,
like super gross looking.
I would actually, if it's possible, I don't know what like the bars to the stockades are like at all. I would offer Kieran to switch food with her to hope that it maybe puts her in a slightly better mood.
I would just. This is not the worst thing I've eaten. Like, this is fine.
Okay.
Too narrow to like pass the bowl through, but I mean you
I could like take the steak
you
off.
could easily hold the bowl and like spoon it through yourself through the bars. That's not a problem. And again, the plate and everything could easily be turned sideways and passed through. But like,
Yeah, no. If
Things
she
that
doesn't,
fall
if she's like,
I-
she's fine.
I
then
would
I'll just eat
remind him that like we're very limited on what we can bring on ships, dude.
my- Just trying to brighten your day a little bit. You seem, out of all of us, the most flustered, even though you might be the reason we're in here.
I'm angry. I'm not flustered. To use correct terms.
Okay.
I promised myself a long time ago I would not die in a prison cell.
We're not gonna die here. It's
You're not
be
gonna
fine.
die, Stalbor. Don't worry about that.
I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
What kind of shape are these on bars in?
really good.
Really good.
Some of them have been replaced. Like some of them are like brand new. Some of them kind of rusted, but all of them in pretty good shape.
We
I
just
could
need to
probably
wait
get out.
to talk to who's in charge. However, if you believe the person in charge is a changeling, and they are, I'm not gonna have any real say. They're gonna
Figure
do
it
with
out.
us what they will. My only hope is that maybe people of my house notice him not treating me appropriately as they have thus far, and then maybe that would give them suspicion to think that he might not be who he says he is.
Well, we'll
And
find
that's
out.
that's a big whim to really hope for, if he
There-
is a changeling as you suspect.
There is changeling poison in my belongings, so we can get to that.
Is there?
There is.
All right, I think I
It'll
should
force
try.
him to revert. And
I should
I'll
probably try to
describe like
get
the little
that.
vial.
If anyone will have a chance to get it, it will be me. And if anyone would have a chance to get closest to the changeling, it would probably be me. So I think that I will try to get that and use it when the time's right.
It does work. I've tried it before.
Oh, so what does it just makes the was it make them turn back to their?
It makes him
Self?
a little bit sick, and it reverts him to the original form. Yeah.
What happens if someone takes it who isn't a changeling?
I don't know. Haven't tried that yet.
Are you sure it's not regular poison?
Mm,
Wait a minute, I don't want an answer. I don't care.
Just
And
calling
Stalbot
it
just
changeling
like
poison.
kneels and meditates for the rest of the time. They will not get anything out of Stalbot. He is just kneeling and doing his weird meditation thing. He doesn't give a fucking. In fact, he gives too
Okay.
much of a fuck, honestly.
That might not be a risk I'm willing to take, but we'll see.
it shouldn't have any effect on them.
We'll see. We'll see if the situation calls for it.
All right. Oh.
I
Well,
guess-
there is one other way you can find out. You could kill him. He'll change back then.
I think we need to be a bit more witty than that.
Mm. Just letting you know what I asked.
On our feet.
Okay, so moving on. Uh, next morning, you get 3 scrambled eggs with 2 strips of. You know it's supposed to be bacon. It's clearly not a pig, but it's bacon. And some sort of bread substance, some sort of loaf or something. They get slop. Lunchtime, they actually come down and they bring you a venison steak sandwich with some sort of must be cured in-house here cheese, which everybody knows. Everybody knows the best cheeses are from where? Aaron.
They're from Ondair.
No.
Come on there.
No.
No, it's from Karnath.
Best cheeses are from Karnath.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's it's actually some really good cheese considering it was probably made here. The animal it was made out of doesn't matter. It's creamy and delicious and melts in your mouth. As a matter of fact, this old venison is probably starting to turn. Doesn't matter. This cheese is delicious. And once again, for dinner, they get slop and you get another meal and so on. So about 2 days later, so it's midday, 2 days later, finally you have the 3 of them are moved all to one cell that's adjacent to Luca's cell. And then eventually guard comes downstairs and opens Luca's cell and leaves it wide open. And he turns to leave, and as he leaves, a man walks in who looks to be in his mid-40s, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, mid-40s, comes in, obviously human, wearing house beneath garb and whatnot. He happens to wear, he happens to have at his side a sword with a golden hilt to it, so he's clearly one of the blade bearers. And he walks in and kind of like assesses the situation. As soon as he walks in, just like looks around, sees that the stockade is empty other than the 4 of you, looks at the 3 of them that are just there, and then looks over to you, Luca. And as he turns to you and you see his full attention come in, as he finally turns, that's when you can see on his arm, coming up his upper arm over here, is his sword arm, is a lesser dragon mark. So it's the next step up from yours, but not like one of the huge grand ones.
Okay.
And he looks at you and he says, Luca.
I'll nod and very respectfully say, yes, I am Luca, and I haven't gotten your name.
My name is Roland.
Well, hello, Roland. I'm assuming you're the one who's in charge here, and I lay out a hand to shake his hand.
I am, yes. I had the pleasure of meeting your brother before. About a decade ago, he served under me during the war.
He was a good soldier.
He was young then. He was foolish. Could have gotten people around him killed. He learns, though, and he learns quick.
That he did.
So, you made a bit of a fuss outside my walls.
Yes, I apologize for what had happened, but we were trying to speak to you, and in so, that happened. One of my comrades doesn't seem to be able to hold their temper. Luckily, it didn't escalate past what it did, and we agreed to meet on your terms completely. We had questions we needed answered, and we needed to speak to you.
I would expect no less from someone who has been kissed by the storm. You have questions, but you don't have authority to ask them.
You might be right about that.
We might not have about that.
We might not have the authority to ask them, but we were informed that you guys should have left by now.
You're saying that I'm not supposed to be here.
That's what I was told.
Could you tell me who gave this order?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Sexy.
Yeah, that was nice. My source says the king himself.
Oh, the King of Breland.
I'll nod.
I'm sorry. I have to ask.
Mhm.
Am I wearing Breelish garb?
No, but you fly the Breelish flag.
It's not my keep.
Okay, so this is not your keep. So you're saying that you're taking your orders from the owner of the keep?
I'm taking my orders from the house. The discussions they may have with whoever it is that paid them, that's between the house and whoever it is that paid them.
Fair. Well, you can understand why this is an issue if it is true that someone is going about their orders incorrectly. Well, I'm not accusing you of it, but maybe the person giving you your orders has been given orders to call you guys out of here, and they haven't given you the orders for whatever reason. Maybe they feel like maybe they have a god complex and they feel like they are in charge and they want to do what's right by their assumptions. I just want to look into it. That is my goal. I understand the need for imprisoning us. I do get it, but that's all I'm looking for. I'm willing to cooperate to get to the bottom of this, and if that means going through the house, I'll do that.
I see. You're trying to be amicable here.
Yes.
With what you believe to be the truth.
Yes.
You think that perhaps my decisions are coming from ignorance. Understand this. I also receive copies of the Kornberg Chronicle. I receive them fairly regularly and keep up on what's going on in the rest of the world. I'm fully aware of the fact that the war ended 2 years ago, and that Breland has given at least lip service to the greater peoples of Corvair, orders to have soldiers removed from this so they can look all nicey nice and friendly to the beasts that live beyond these walls. However, until I receive those orders from my house, there are no such orders.
I understand. I do.
Why are you with them?
These are my friends. We've been through a lot together in doing work for the house, and they've helped me quite a bit as I've helped them. They've been good on the front line with me.
Have you received permission to be so freelance? Shouldn't a young soldier like you be put into a guard, learned a proper role before you're released into the wild?
Well, Scott, so I know that you said like they wanted to reinvest into me. That's why I went back to school and all that. Would they have mentioned that? You know what I mean? Would they have mentioned, or would they be like, oh, they didn't say anything at all? They just, I've been doing things on my own since.
They just wanted to finish your training, make sure that you were up to par when it came to your competitive abilities, your understanding of house politics and blah, 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 blah. They just more or less finish your leadership training, which was you gaining a level. You know what I mean? So nothing that you have to worry about that.
Right.
And you also had to pick a group.
Right.
However, nobody has pulled you in and been like, here are your orders. You must do this.
Right.
Why?
So, right. So basically, I'll say, I'll tell them about the terrorists. I'll say I tend to work well alone, and the house seems to agree with that. We uncovered a group of terrorists that went by the name of Dosk, and if it weren't for my investigating skills, no one would have even known what they were planning, but we have stopped them.
I actually read this in the Kornberg Chronicle. However, the details on that one were a little bit loose. I knew your name stood out, and that's why. It wasn't until I saw your face that I recognized that I had met your brother before. Please, these details, tell me. This
You
Dosk.
said the details were loose. Yeah, Dusk. It was a group of rogue hobgoblins who were terrorists. They actually they were impersonating House Beneath members in an attempt to kill targets, so to speak. One of them
But they
being
were
a gnome.
goblins and hobgoblins.
Yes, they were impersonating being hired by Beneath.
That's unusual.
Yes, I agree. That's why we looked into it.
He looks over your shoulder and says, as far as I understand, my house and your people have agreements, and we have not fought each other since the war ended, and either one of us were hired to do so. Is this wrong?
My people are not one body. There are many minds. These were the Dask. They are known to the people of I always forget the name of this the place. They are known to the Hobgoblin people, and we consider them terrorists. They blew up my emissaries. They blew up my ambassadors. They killed my people in their pursuits. They are hobgoblins by blood, but only by blood.
Okay. And any other ties to these hobgoblins? I heard the Stormborn. She was concerned that there are doppelgangers here, changelings. You know, the shifting blood.
Do you reply to that, Kieran?
Kieran's trying not to.
We all look very interested at Karen.
I don't look at her. I wait to hear.
This place was found on a list along with other plots that we have followed that have led to doppelgangers and changelings amongst you people. So if you would like, I'd like to, try to find out if they are here. The fact that you are, wantonly disobeying orders and other bullshit doesn't, help your case.
He just said to you he's not disobeying orders. Yeah. He's actually obeying orders.
Yeah, from somebody up higher, who could be a changeling or a doppelganger.
Right. So, but still, he's obeying orders.
Yeah, sure, fine. He's obeying orders. Happy? You're following a changeling.
I'm starting to understand it now. She happens to be kissed by the storm, but she is not necessarily one of the ones that are of respect in her house. She's just fortunate enough to have been of the right bloodline.
Okay.